Let things be exactly as they are. You can't change me, and you can't change God. Let things be exactly as they are, and you and me will live in peace. Well, I don't know what anything is for unless I listen to that still small voice telling me this simple truth, that everything is for my good. Let things be exactly as they are. You can't change me, and you can't change God. No, you can't change God. Let things be exactly as they are, and you and me will live in peace. I'm not this body that you see. I am as God created me. We are all one family, and it's possible to live in peace. So let things be exactly as they are. You can't change me. And say it with me, you know what's next? You can't change God. No, you can't change God. Let things be exactly as they are, and you and me will live in peace. Kumbaya. Oh gosh, feeling good, feeling weird, feeling all kinds of things today. How is it with y'all? Oh, we love our feelings. We know we're not our feelings. We're not our bodies. But our feelings are something, aren't they? Goodness gracious. Teachers. So what today happened was, I've started becoming involved a little bit with a church in my local town, Brattleboro, where we're going to start doing our live musical performances. Me and Freddie and his husband Jay and Tyler that you met last weekend. So I went to their morning service, and it was really fascinating because, first of all, the minister there sort of reminds me of Glen anyway. He's sort of a similar build and height and green eyes and things like that. He just kind of reminds me of Glen. And today he chose to speak on a topic that really was dear to Glen's heart. So my feelings have been, wide open today. But what kept coming to me, and this would be how Glen would translate Reverend Scott's message, is that we are all teachers of God. We are all teachers of God. And that message just really is alive for me today. And for so many reasons, and I have a lot of things I want to read and share, and music videos of my some of my songs, because I really love the way the videos are produced, and I want to share them with you. Um, all in support of, across the board, that you and I are teachers of God. And, that's what so many different that's why there's so many different spiritual paths, and so many ways of looking at our lives and who we are and what we're doing here. And at some point, when I get a little better at discussing it and really understanding how to share with you about this, there's a scientist that I'm watching on YouTube by the name of Donald Hoffman, who is actually scientifically, through sort of quantum physics and things, but scientifically speaking about everything that we speak about here in the sanctuary, proving it scientifically, and it's just fascinating to me. So I bet, yeah, it's really interesting how, certainly I see this anyway, how science and spirituality are intersecting. And so science is really talking about right now that we're living in this three-dimensional reality is an illusion. And so Mr. Hoffman, Donald Hoffman, speaks of it as we have put on a headset and we're in a computer game, like a Grand Theft Auto or one of those computer games, and that we're actually working with a headset and an interface, and that's what all of this is. So he has scientific backup for it and all this stuff. It's just very interesting. So that's all I can really explain to you right now, because it's kind of technical, but it's really interesting to me. So the reason why I'm even mentioning that is that we're all teachers of God. See how it all intersects? And so, I'm looking at and responding to this truth that we're all teachers of God. Even maybe some of us are not on a spiritual path at all, but they're still teachers for me, and so this is something that I'm really grasping, living into. How do I see past my prejudices and stereotypes and whatever, and some of the things that bother me, like when my neighbor comes over and sticks his nose into business over here that he shouldn't be doing, right? So, how was that experience for me? A lesson, how was he a teacher of God for me in that situation, right? So I'm just, I don't have, certainly I'd say that I never have answers, really. I'm just exploring and contemplating. So, so that's what's up for me today. So, I wanted to share a few things in it. Actually, we talk about it right in our purpose and values, that we're all teachers of God. So I thought what I would do is go into our meditation, contemplation, and also while we're in meditation and contemplation, read our second core value, number 2 in our core values. So here we go. I'm going to ring the bell, take 3 breaths, let the last one out on an Om, and then we're going to contemplate for a minute our core value number 2. Together, right here, right now, in this Awakening Together sanctuary, we are co-creating this circle of unconditional love, where everything that we like and everything that we do not like is included, because we know all of it is a teaching. All of it. Every person we don't like, every behavior we don't like, everything that's going on in the world that we don't like is a teaching from God. And I celebrate that today. Of course, all the things we like are too, so yay! But in this moment, I want to celebrate the fact that we are all teachers of God. And so from Awakening Together's core values, number 2, we realize everyone is equal, and no one has been given spiritual intuition that is an authority over the spiritual intuition of others. We live this value by listening to each other, respecting each other, and allowing each one to be where they are. Listening to each other, respecting each other, and allowing each one to be where they are. Blessed be, and so it is.
Jesus is quite alright with me. Buddha is quite alright, oh yeah. Muhammad is quite alright with me. Abraham is alright. Well, I don't care what path you take, every path leads to the same place. We're all children of God's grace, and all of it is alright. Oh yeah, all of it is alright. Krishna is quite alright with me. Shiva is quite alright, oh yeah. Ganesha is quite alright with me. All of it is alright. Well, I don't care what path you take, every path leads to the same place. We're all children of God's grace, and all of it is alright. Oh yeah.
Wow. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. Of course, I was ordained as an interfaith minister, and so um, when I was graduating, actually, the old song, Jesus is just all right, came to me, and then I started thinking in terms of my, what I had been learning during my seminary, and I was like, wow, let's revisit that song and sort of, yes, rewording it. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yeah. So, so we're all teachers of God, and I wanted to share with you. I'm going to open the chat so I can see. Um, oh, thank you. Oh, and thank you for putting number 2 of our guiding principles in the chat. Thank you, Shauna. Um, so this morning when I went to our local church, he was reading from Mark chapter 9, verse 30 through 37, and I'm going to read it in the Bible, then I'm going to read it in NTI. So, because I thought that was really, really cool, So, let's see. In the Bible, it goes this way. The paragraph before where I'm going to read is talking about Jesus and the disciples passing through Galilee. So then it goes, they came to Capernaum, where he was when he was in the house, he asked them, the disciples, what were you arguing about on the road? But they kept quiet because on the way they had argued about who was the greatest. Oh my God, I just think that's really funny right there. Okay. Sitting down, Jesus called the 12 and said, anyone who wants to be first must be the very last and the servant of all. He took a little child whom he placed among them. Taking the child in his arms, he said to them, whoever welcomes one of these little children in my name welcomes me, and whoever welcomes me does not welcome me, but the one who sent me. So, our innocence. What I want to read now, I'm on NTI Mark chapter 9, and this is verse 33 through 37. The one who knows his greatness is the one who sees himself like the rest. The one in service of his brothers serves them because it is his desire to serve himself. So giving and receiving being the same thing. Serving you is service to myself. And like just being here in the midst of all of you in this wonderful sanctuary, is such a learning and growth experience. I mean, I learned so much from each of you. You help me remember in different ways, and I think that's what's so super important about all of us, is that we all have our own unique perspective, and we're all going through our own things that we go through in our lifetimes, and that offers a teaching that is unique to you, that opens a door for me, and hopefully likewise the same for me to you. So I love that, and I'm just really that was something really core to Glen's perspective, and I'm just seeing that so alive in me right now. I'm just really, really seeing that. So then what I wanted to move on to was, after that section, Well, I want to read this. Love one another as you love me. This is Jesus. In this way, you serve our Lord and yourself. Never doubt that love is one. To love one is to love another. And to love them both is to love us all. Seek only after love, and let all that is not love go from your mind as useless. Okay. Because it is. Oh, and then it goes on to say, Teacher, said John, we saw a man teaching in your name, and we asked him to stop because he is not one of us. Isn't that fascinating? Oh, no, you can't speak the truth because you're not speaking it the way I speak it. You know what I mean? That's basically... Don't we see so much of that? And can I see that in myself? You know, can I catch myself? You know, when I'm holding... Oh, you're not non-dual. You know, you're coming from this, you know, perspective that, like, I don't believe in, quote unquote, you know. So I can do that too, you know. And it was lovely because there's a sense of, sometimes it's hard for me, I'll put it this way. Sometimes it's hard for me to go into a quote-unquote regular church, you know, from the traditional Christian viewpoint, and not be arrogant. Not like me, you know, holding an arrogant point of view, going, oh, you're not non-dual. I mean, you know, you use the word worship, and I have, that's a trigger word for me. I don't think, you know, I don't use that word because I feel like that points to a being, you know, and we should bow down to this human or whatever. And so I don't use that word. So that's a word that's used in, you know, the church I visit. And I find that it's really wonderful for me to let those things go as I'm sitting there, you know. Now, I remember, you know, being raised in church and just being really fidgety all the time because it just didn't, you know, I didn't relate to it for most of and it didn't make sense to me. So now when I return to sort of, quote unquote, like I say, a traditional church, I see all of this coming up for me, you know. And judgment and judgment and judgment comes in. And so today I was able to see, a lot of times I'm not even aware of that, you know, I just have this feeling of, you know, and I'm like, Today I heard all of those thoughts, all of that othering that I'm doing to the folks I'm in, you know, in that building with, and also myself. So this is something I've discovered that I've in the past have had a real tendency to hold myself apart and other myself because of whatever, you know, my gender identity, whatever. Like I can find something, you know, I can find something. In order to maintain some kind of, you know, I'm the authority or something and you're not, you know, like this is what goes on in my three-dimensional body headset, as Donald Hoffman would say. So I'm sitting there today and, oh, thank you, Jan. Yeah, I'm sitting there today and I'm having this marvelous experience, because I'm being irritated right and left. And I'm paying attention to it. I'm not just pushing it aside and saying, oh, you know, bad Yolanda. Bad Yolanda. And, you know, Jesus has always been one of my favorite gurus, teachers, like always. Love, love, love Jesus, you know. And however, I have judgments about the way we talk about Jesus and the way people talk, you know, whatever, you know, I have all this. So I'm seeing all this, I'm looking at all this, I'm aware of all this, and I'm giggling and laughing and I'm crying because I'm reminded of Glenn and his, you know, his teaching, his noticing that we are all equals. We are all teachers. And so by having this roller coaster experience, basically contained in this three-dimensional body here, and I'm going, wow. So several things occurred to me. That one, that I'm so glad that I actually noticed those thoughts instead of pushing them away. A healing was instantly had at the noticing of those thoughts. And then just the joy of the message itself. Like, despite of my, whatever, my problems with languaging or whatever, the message was spot on. So let me do that with my neighbor. He's got a message for me. He's got a lot of wisdom. He's lived here for many years, Let me do that with my community. Let me learn from people and let them be my teachers, and not other myself. I see that that's a big one for me. Othering myself. And it's like, yeah, I'm just going to leave it there for a second. I could talk about that for a while. This is so good, though. Okay, so teacher said, John, we saw a man teaching in your name, and we asked him to stop because he is not one of us. He does not need to stop, replied Jesus. Probably a lot calmer than what I said. He does not need to walk with us and eat with us to be one of us. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness. The Heavenly Father made us one, and so one is what we are. That's why Glenn used to get so excited about why he would shout, "You can't change God!" Because he would get so excited about, you can't, this is just what is. So so the resistance to it is a resistance to something that is not true in any way. So that's where the suffering comes from. This is so much of what I have learned since Glenn's passing is to, be with what is. Of course, that was my spiritual aspiration for the year 2024 was to let things be exactly as they are. And truly, that is powerful. Because the minute I stop resisting what is, I don't suffer. And we are one is what is. We are one. That is what is. Whether you talk like me or eat like me or whatever, have my gender identity or whatever, I tend to, I'm this way. And so, this is so good. The differences that we see among us are shallow and unimportant. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. They are visible on the surface only. Like all things in this world, they will not last. Do not focus on the differences. They will distract you from the light. How easily am I distracted? Whoosh. Squirrel. Squirrel. Why are you acting that way, squirrel? Why did you say that, squirrel? Oh my gosh. Our Father created us as one, and so is what we are. We cannot be different than how our Father created us. It is our essence, our being. Whew. Yes, Regina. Receiving that message, I just like, wow. Um, then he goes on to say, this man who teaches in my name teaches not for me or against me. He teaches with me. For we cannot be apart in purpose or in truth. Wow. Oh, I love this part. God will call many teachers to do his work. That's you. And me. But, like I'm saying, the theme for the day, we're all teachers of God. So God will call many teachers, you and me, to do his work, and each one may seem to teach in his own way. That's what's so awesome. Don't we demonstrate that here in the sanctuary? Like, oh my goodness, Shauna's inquiry. Woo! Our wonderful homilies from different perspectives, Anne's wisdom, Tina's wisdom when we're all discussing, just like Jan, just the wonderful things you say. I always love hearing you share, and Arizona is here in the room. She's a huge teacher for me. I love it. God will call many teachers to do his work, and each one may seem to teach in his own way. But the Father's message is always consistent. It is the simple message of love and oneness. I'm laughing because it is just really so simple. And boy, how I can complicate it. My goodness. But even that's fun too. I'm not so much depreciating myself as I am just noticing. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, this is hilarious. Oh, I think this. Oh boy, that's really silly. Oh my God, it's really funny. Whenever you hear this message, be grateful for what you hear, no matter where it comes from. Whether it's here in the sanctuary or, at the grocery store, you never know who you're going to run into. Whenever you hear this message of love and oneness, be grateful for what you hear. Do not be distracted by what may seem to be differences. Oh, and then I'm going to finish reading with this. I tell you the truth. Anyone who gives his brother even a cup of water because he knows his brother is the Christ, teaches with authority from the Father. Wow. Now that's something to soak in. Anyone who gives his brother even a cup of water because he knows his brother is the Christ. His brother is the Christ. We are each the Christ. Teaches with authority from the Father. So, I was talking to the pastor after it was over, and I was like, the realization that everything we do matters, it does matter. Not to put a burden on us or to, be whatever restrictive about our behavior or whatever, but just the genuineness, our desire, to live this love and oneness that in truth we all are, just our desire to do that. And from that desire, our behavior in the world, that is where the rubber hits the road, is what I like to say. I mean, it's just a glorious, glorious teaching. Motivation to choose with guidance. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Really, really good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh goodness. Oh, okay. So I want to share this song with you, and I'm sharing videos because I love these videos, and I love the way they're, the song's produced, and a lot of this filming in this next video, which in the last video too, was filmed right here on our property, so you can get a little chance to see what it is. But my motivation for wanting to share this song with you right now is just to talk about that driving desire that is within us when we realize that this is who we are, that we are the oneness, that we are together. And this desire in me, I'll speak for myself, to live this love and oneness in the world is a driving desire for me. And there's a quote from the Upanishads, which is ancient wisdom book, which I have over here somewhere. There's tons of books, if only you could see. My wonderful husband collected all kinds of stuff. But there's a quote from the Upanishads that says, "You are what your driving desire is. As your desire is, so is your will. As your will is, so is your deed. As your deed is, so is your destiny." And those words, I don't know, resonated with me so strongly that I wrote this song, also with a Sanskrit mantra that is called the Brahma Gayatri mantra. And the notes on the the Brahma Gayatri mantra is for those who seek knowledge, knowing the real essence behind the material, becoming creative, increasing productivity, and becoming active spiritually. Brahma is the father of all creation, and hence by knowing him we gain all knowledge and the essence of knowledge itself. So this mantra is for mental happiness, for knowledge, and to know the essence of things. So I'm going to share this song that I call Driving Desire.
Imagine a world of divine inspiration, where we all play a part in creation. This is that world. You are the one who makes hell or heaven. You are what your driving desire is. As your desire is, so is your will. As your will is, so is your deed. As your deed is, so is your destiny. You are what your driving desire is. As your desire is, so is your will. As your will is, so is your deed. As your deed is, so is your destiny.
Yay. Oh, I'm so glad you like it. As you can tell, I love reading books to children. And it's one of the joys in my life, you know. And oh, thank you! You like the butterfly? That's one of my favorite things. So actually, which is really cool, I'm going to be starting that up again in my new location here. So yeah, so life is, you know, life is coming back to me. I'm, you know, I've had a challenge. Well, you know, just being okay, you know, being here, being okay, and being happy to be here. And really, and I am. It is so wonderful, and I'm allowing myself to create a new life for myself. So it's exciting and tearful and all of the things. All of the things. And all of it as a teacher. So I wanted to, oh, we've got 10 minutes. I want to read a little bit out of A Course in Miracles, because one of Glen's favorite things too was the teacher's manual. So I thought, oh, this is really, really good. I wanted to read this little part from the teacher's manual, which is actually chapter 2, Who Are the Pupils? And it goes like this. Certain pupils have been assigned to each of God's teachers, and they will begin to look for him as soon as he has answered the call. They were chosen for him because the form of the universal curriculum that he will teach is best for them in view of their level of understanding. So I'm taking that to be, oh, thank you, Shauna. I appreciate that. I take that to be that since we're all teachers, that everyone that comes with it, so everyone that's within our friend group, or even anyone that we encounter, you know, along the way, and maybe a, you know, just a small encounter or whatever, is drawn to us for a particular teaching that only you, as the teacher, can offer because of your uniqueness in the oneness, which is really cool. So how I think of that, our uniqueness within the oneness is, I have this, well, you saw it in the video too. I have this whole field out here full of wildflowers, and it's incredible. And every year they're different flowers, you know. This year it's mostly goldenrod, but there's little spots of other flowers here too. I have some echinacea that's growing wild. It's amazing. So I know, it's really amazing. So, but when I walk through this field, it's all looks the same, you know, but when you get up close, you can see all of the uniqueness within that oneness. You know, you can see the different colors of yellow that the goldenrods are, you know, and then you discover unique creatures within the hanging out within the goldenrods, you know. And so within the oneness, which we all are in this sameness, we're unique at the same time. It's just so exciting. That's so exciting. Hi, David. Loving you. So glad to see you. Glad you're here. So anyway, as I'm going to read a little more from the Manual for Teachers, Chapter 2. Actually, I want to go down to the last paragraph because this is what really got me. When pupil and teacher come together, a teaching, learning situation begins. For the teacher is not really the one who does the teaching. God's teacher speaks to any two who join together for learning purposes. The relationship is holy because of that purpose, and God has promised to send His Spirit into any holy relationship. In the teaching-learning situation, each one learns that giving and receiving are the same. The demarcations they have drawn between their roles, their minds, their bodies, their needs, their interests, and all the differences they thought separated them from one another fade and grow dim and disappear. Those who would learn the same course, which is life, share one interest and one goal. And thus he who was the learner becomes a teacher of God Himself. For he has made the one decision that gave his teacher to him. He has seen in another person the same interests as his own. Oh my goodness. Isn't that what we do here? I think that's what we do here. So I just really speaking to me today. So the Sangha, exactly. The Sangha is the new guru. Exactly. That's exactly what it's speaking about. Absolutely. So, okay, I'm going to share one more video. I'm going to share a real crazy one to bless us on our way. And it's a version of the mantra Rake Rakanahar. I don't know if y'all know that mantra, but it's a mantra of protection. So when I think of protection, when I think of praying or doing a mantra for protection, I think of my crazy thoughts, right? So protection, quote unquote, from those thoughts. In other words, learning how to still that craziness that we call monkey mind or whatever, but to look past it and to know the truth. So that's how I think of the word protection. So I'm going to share this as we go out for our last song here.
A prayer of protection. The light surrounds you. The love enfolds you. The power protects you. And the presence watches over you. Wherever you are, and all is well. Rockin', rockin' heart. Rockin', rockin' heart. Rockin', rockin' heart. Apubariana. Could keep it fire. Conscious of
yes, if that sounded like the time warp to you, it definitely was my inspiration. So let's rock and a hard time warp. So I love y'all. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you joining me today. And remember to listen to the voice that likes you. She will tell you that we are one. And she will tell you how to act like it. Blessings and love and thank you. Mwah.